Libra. This is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In these videos, I review all the major planetary aspects and transits of the week, and I let you know how they're going to impact your natal sun and what that means for your bottom line. All you need to know to understand these videos is your birthday. That's it, because everything else I'll translate for you. I'll start out really broad with the big stuff, the charts for this week that are impacting basically global operations. And then I will focus that down into Libra specific information, and then I will break everything down into the 3 decans of Libra. A decan is a group of 10 degrees. And by doing this, I'll be able to pinpoint exactly how certain groups of your natal suns are going to be impacted, and you'll see that they'll be quite different from each other. Let's start off real broad, Libra. This is for the week of September 5th through the 11th of 2023. There's not a lot of big stuff happening. To be honest with you, relatively speaking, this is a very calm week. For most of the week, we do have Mercury conjunct the sun. Mercury is in retrograde. Conjunct the sun just means it's bright and sort of on the surface. So you're able to, it's palatable. You're able to interact with all that information. To me, it ends up being sort of like an aha moment, or a light bulb goes on. So it can be a time of great understanding and awakening. We also have Jupiter trine the sun all week long, which is very optimistic, positive, helpful, productive, and expansive energy. So optimistic, helpful, productive, bright, light bulbs going on. This could be a really beautiful release to an otherwise really tumultuous couple of weeks. We have, between Mercury retrograde conjunct the sun, we also have a square to Pluto, which is going to incite change. It's going to make everything far more impactful and dramatic and extreme, which means the aha moment is really going to pack a punch. We have Mercury in opposition to Saturn by the end of the week. Not all week long, by the end of the week. And we also, by the end of the week, have the sun in opposition to Neptune. So we're building up to those things. And then next week, we'll have those kind of contentious oppositions that can be very oppressive or distracting and slow things down a whole heck of a lot more. Also excite things, like churn things up. And that will start to happen toward the end of this week. But predominantly this week is pretty peaceful, I promise you. We have Venus in a square to Jupiter all week long. And that's still excess, but definitely optimism, positivity, but sort of overindulgence. But that's kind of nice, this energy of relaxation and just enjoy it, sort of joie de vivre. But it can get excessive. And then we have Venus trine to Chiron, which is all about healing. And that just started again. As Venus starts to go direct, it will get into even tighter trine to Chiron, which is all about healing our own image of ourselves, how we feel, how we value ourselves, value systems, as well as healing any kind of financial friction that you've been experiencing as well over the next couple of weeks. And that's going to be really helpful energy. So let's get into, I wanted to mention on the 11th. So for those of you in the States, you know September 11th takes on a whole new meaning for us. It is a day of grieving. It is a day of remembrance and celebration of, or in just an honor of all the people who have suffered in all different ways from the 9/11 attacks on us. But interestingly enough, this is one of the best days this week. We have Venus sextile to Mars, and that's pretty much starts, I think, around the 7th of this week, where Venus will sextile Mars. Now that's supercharged electric kismet chemistry energy. There's a lot of connectivity and productivity between the divine masculine, divine feminine energies. But on the 11th, the moon conjuncts Venus in Leo, and in perfect conjunction, they are both going to be sextile to Mars. This could prove a very beautiful, very romantic, almost something out of your dreams come true kind of energy. It is definitely good vibes, and overall a general kind of wanting to connect to each other again kind of energy. I love it. So that impacts you guys especially because Venus is your ruling dignitary. So let's get into, I'm sorry, all these notes. Let's get into Libra specific energy. And what I look for that is what's going on with your ruling dignitary, and then what's going on in Libra itself. So in Libra itself, we have Mars. And Mars is moving between 5 and 9 degrees. It's direct, it's full speed, but in Libra, you know, it's very diplomatic. It's very much, I'm trying to balance things out. I'm trying to even things out. It's not the most productive energy. It's not the most progressive energy. It's not the most forward energy, but it is highly productive energy, especially during retrograde season, where that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be restoring. We're supposed to be recalibrating. We're supposed to be balancing. So this is actually a serendipitous placement for Mars right now. We also have Venus. So what's going on with Venus? Venus is direct now. She went direct on September 3rd. So she's been direct for a couple of days. She's still in Leo. She will move between 12 and 13 degrees Leo. And you're going to see that she's going to start to conjunct or reassociate different aspects that she had when she was in retrograde. Only now she will be going direct, which is almost like a review and now a re-execution of the value systems, of putting what we value into the right places. She is going to be sextile to Mars as of the 7th, and on the 11th she has that beautiful conjunction to the moon. I put a little heart next to it because that is going to be a highly romantic and sensual day for you guys. It's a great day to take action. It's a great day to date. It's a great day to get yourself out there. It's just it's a nice vibe, dude. It's a nice vibe. We also have a trine between Venus and Chiron all week, so especially for you, this means healing. Healing up any kind of challenges or old wounds, sufferings, or difficult lessons that you've been through, especially with your appearance, how you feel about yourself, your finances, maybe even your romantic liaisons themselves. This is a time of actually being able to get some progress done and heal all of those old wounds. And then we have a square to Jupiter all week long. Extremely positive, extremely optimistic energy, extremely romantic energy, very indulgent and decadent energy. But with this week, it really goes along with the optimism and joy of things. So that could be very helpful energy right now. So let's go to the decans. If you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Libra, it's in the first decan of Libra, and so you guys are Libra 1s. This correlates to Libra birthdays essentially in September. So anybody born between September 22nd and maybe the 1st of October, around there, that's the time span of when your birthdays would be if your suns fall in the first decan of Libra. Your natal suns this week are going to be conjunct to Mars, which gives you energy and it gives you vitality. It could also make you more aggressive than usual. Just an FYI. You are in semi-square, at least most of you, especially those of you born toward the beginning of the first decan. Those born to the end of the first decan are pretty much almost in a sextile to Venus. And we'll talk about the difference. A semi-square to Venus will cause kind of agitation, irritation. It will stir things up to spur you on. When it comes to your finances, your love life, it's like there's something there that the universe wants to release energy. So it could be sexual frustration or frustration about something that you desire. Whereas those of you born more toward the end of the second decan, those closer to October 1st or the 3rd, 29th, 30th, 31st of September, those Librans would definitely start experiencing more of the sextile to Venus. And the sextile would be 100% pure desire. It would be opportunity and attractiveness and finding people that you have great chemistry with. And so what they both have in common is there is the universe pushing you forward and opening doors. It's just for those born more into the end, toward the beginning of Libra season, Virgo cuspers especially. It's more going to frustrate you into releasing that energy. It's like your frustration is going to guide you as opposed to your optimism, but there is still that push forward. I wrote down here, then in conjunction to the long-standing quincunx to Saturn, which is all about making your natal sun feel like it can't or it shouldn't, right? And that's it's there to frustrate it and kick it in the ribs to make it do, even when it's kind of gotten stuck in some ways. Your personality or your ego has gotten stuck in certain ways. You're going to be spurred into action. All together, these energies, make me write this down, where you feel restricted from or by, whatever you feel restricted from or restricted by, your own desires or abilities to pursue them. So it's almost like where you feel restriction, right? In terms of your own, in terms of what you want, what you desire, in terms of maybe even, am I capable of doing this? You're going to be spurred to action this week, guys, to do it anyway, to face those disabilities, inabilities, and say, okay, well, how can I learn? Because I can't stay where I am. I know I don't belong here and I'm not happy here. So there is a little bit of digging that may have to go on, but overall it can be a very productive week to spur you, push you out of a rut, especially with that Venus and Mars energy when it comes to your love life. Just an FYI. If you know that your natal suns, Libra 2s, are between 10 and 19 degrees Libra, they fall in the second decan, and so you are Libra 2s. This correlates to October birthdays between the 2nd and the 11th. So your natal suns are most definitely sextile to Venus all freaking week long. This is beautiful, sexy, sensual energy where you have the confidence and the cockiness to get yourself out there. It's a great time to date. It's a great time to do your hair, take action on your aesthetic, looking good, feeling good, and really showing the world your confidence. It's a great time to take action on aesthetics or creative projects or energies that you're working on. It's a great time to be extra romantic and to have take action on getting your romantic partnerships, especially getting them functional and getting them maybe leveling up, or you'll see that they take huge leaps forward during this transition. It could be for some of you getting your assets back on track and finding some great financial breakthroughs for yourself. You also have a quincunx to Jupiter, which is long-standing. That is optimism and positivity to the point of irritation, maybe irritating others. But definitely you're spurred on or encouraged to expand, and this would be a great week to do it where a lot of opportunities are there. Your natal suns are also in direct opposition to Chiron, especially those of you born, say, the 9th, 10th, or 11th of October. And that's going to constantly almost break you down. It's going to humble you. In the light of all this other very positive energy, this week it's going to humble you to remember the pain, to remember the challenges, and in some ways just have enough self-doubt to not put you in over your head, or to humble you in a sense of really helping you feel grateful and happy with all that you have, and even that you have any new opportunities. So there is that sense of a compromised sense of self-esteem from Chiron, because when Chiron's opposite your sun, it really, well, when it's natal, it really makes you feel constantly, am I good enough? But this for you is just a transit. At least, I don't know, if it may be in your natal chart, but this is based on the transit. So this is just sort of a year of self-reckoning, self-doubt, questioning who you are, maybe more than a year, of reckoning, self-reckoning, self-doubt, questioning who your validity, are you good enough? And ultimately this week, with the help of Venus and Jupiter, there is that sense of really feeling very grateful for what you have in your life, and that gratitude actually opening up opportunities for you. On the 11th, your natal suns are going to still be sextile to Venus, but the moon is going to be conjunct Venus. So the 11th of this week is going to be a super romantic, very powerful, emotional, loving, happy, just ooey gooey, really sensual energy for you especially. This is a super beautiful time to sort of let those aspects of yourself that you may hide be seen. Like, people will be able to see your inner beauty a lot more that day. Beautiful day. So let's go on to Libra 3s. So if you know that your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Libra, it's in the third decan of Libra. You guys are Libra 3s. That correlates to Libra birthdays between October, say, 12th and the 22nd, all the way up to that Scorpio cusp. It's your natal suns that are conjunct to the south node, opposite the north node, and square to Pluto. So this next 6 months especially will be very transformative for you. You'll start to see changes in you, in your likes, your dislikes, starting to change, liking things or being interested in things or associating yourself with people that before you always felt very in opposition to. And now it's changing. It's just changing for you because you're sort of realigning yourself more toward your north node. It's almost like you're turning a corner in your life. And that's long term. The fact that Pluto's there means that you're very formidable. You're not going to take no for an answer. There's a relentlessness to your energy for the next couple of years that could be quite intimidating for people. You will make strides in your life, but you will also cause a lot of friction, or you have the ability to cause a lot of friction. So it's very important when you're in any really difficult aspect to Pluto, when your sun is in any challenging aspect to Pluto, to be aware of how your energy is impacting people, because it will have an extreme impact on people. And sometimes you won't even be trying. And so if you've been getting more contention, it's because of this long-term square to Pluto. So it could just mean listen more, not step back, like be relentless in your goals, but don't be ruthless. It could definitely give you a shorter fuse and make you not take any shit, which is good. But in some cases, it's like some people aren't trying to get in your way. They just don't understand things, right? And you tend, with this square to Pluto, you tend to have a bulldozer, bull in the china shop kind of way about you that could cause more friction than it actually, and then more friction than doors opening, right? So you want to use this energy in the most positive, productive way. So you have to understand how it could also be sabotaging you as well. Just an FYI. You also have a quincunx to Neptune and a quincunx to Uranus. These are all long term. There's no real energy here that is just for this week. But with this pure energy, now you can get back to being re-stimulated to change your life and recreate who you are based on your own sense of personal individuality and creativity, right? Stimulated outside of your normal, inventive, creative, turning a corner in your lives. And this you'll be able to focus on more without a lot of external distractions. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for enjoying this video. Please share it with other people you think would enjoy it too, to help the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe to Astrology Motivation so that we can definitely keep building our momentum over here. Come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot as well for your week ahead tarot message. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.